Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Technique with Thompson. In this episode, we'll be covering grid with different variations and a more advanced version.
Man, everybody is just really going for it. Oh! Yeah.
All right, here we go. So we recently just covered the basic grid, 16th note patterns, tapping your foot to the beat. So now let's try to find some different ways we can challenge ourselves. The first one that I really like is trying to count the downbeats. So I'm going to actually count in 4/4 because the exercise is in 4/4, so I'm going to count to 4. I have to make sure that I say the number when my foot hits the ground, but I don't say the number whenever my accent happens in my hand. Because the accent moves around to all the different partials, but the downbeat, when you say the number, should always be in the same spot every time. So let me try it out. It looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So that's how that works. That's a fun variation. Now, especially people that are interested in marching in the battery section, you may want to try to do some different things with your feet. So right now I'm just tapping one foot, but when we do marching band, we always start on our left foot and then we alternate our feet. So we go left, right, left, right, left. So I could be marking time, which is what that's called. I could be tapping left, right, left, right, left. So for the younger students, that's something that you're going to want to work on. You can do it while you're sitting down, just alternate your feet tapping. But another thing you could do if you're a little bit more advanced is you could try to do different stickings with your feet. So you could do a paradiddle sticking with your feet. You can do left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right. Or you could start on the right foot if you prefer. So that's another challenge that I'd like for you guys to give a shot. But I'm not going to demonstrate that right now. But if you guys want to submit some videos of you playing any of these variations, I'll let you know how you do, and we can kind of make that into a little fun challenge that we have. All right, let me show you the triplet version of grid. So with the triplet version of grid, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just play regular triplets, accenting the downbeats. So now we only have 3 partials with triplets instead of 4 partials with 16th notes. So 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1. And then that was basically accenting the first partial, which is the downbeat. And then I'm going to have to go through where next I accent the second partial for 4 times, and then the third partial for 4 times. So if I do all that, I'm going 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1. Alright, so that was the 4s. Now I can try the 2s. If I'm doing the 2s, I'm just going to accent each partial twice. So downbeats twice, the second partial, the la's twice, and the third partial, the le's twice. So let's see what happens if I do that. 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 1. Now I would repeat that because the 2s always repeat. 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 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 1. So that's basically how that works for the 2s. Now going to the 1s, I'm going to go ahead and just do each partial 1 time, and that will look like this. 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 1. Now on this, since there's only 3 partials and I'm playing triplets, I actually ended up on my left hand. So the 1s repeat 4 times, and each variation goes I'm playing on my right hand, I'm playing on my left hand, and then third time back to the right hand, fourth time back to the left hand. So playing the ones 4 times looks like this. 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 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 1. Okay, so now the fun thing with the triplet grid is once you've got that down and you're looking for a challenge, try counting that one. If you count that in 4/4, you're going to notice that it doesn't really line up all that well, because when you're playing the triplet grid, there's only 3 partials. So when you get to the 2s, you're basically there's going to be 6 counts that are happening in order to get through one variation, and so that doesn't line up with 4/4. So the second half, you're going to be starting with the number 3, and then when you get to the 1s, well, you've got 3 different variations in 4/4. So your second repetition is going to start with the number 4. Your third repetition is going to start with the number 3, and your fourth repetition is going to start with the number 2. And then the last number you say should be 1. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right, and that was counting in 4/4 while you play triplet grid. Now, a couple more variations on counting you can do. You can count to different numbers. You don't have to count in 4/4. So on, say, the 16th note grid with 4 partials, you can try counting in 3/4. And since 4, 2, 1 is 3 different variations, there's 4s, there's 2s, and there's 1s. Since there's 3 of them, if you count in 3, the last number that you say on your release will be count 1. So it'll line up in the end. But it takes a long time to get all the way back to the number 1 on a phrase point. You could also count to 3 in 3/4 with the triplet grid. That'll line up pretty well in some of the variations. You could count to a different number that doesn't line up at all, like you could count to 5. And that can really challenge you, because every time you get to a new variation, you're just having to say a new number and really think about that. So if you're thinking about what number you're on, it means your hands are going to go onto autopilot a little bit. And that's going to basically test you to see, do I really know my grids really, really strongly? So if I'm able to count and play and count to a weird number while I'm playing it, then I've got my stuff down good. And then you can layer that on top of doing weird sticking patterns with your feet to challenge you in that respect as well. So that's a lot of layers already for you to try to figure out. So I want you to just have fun with this, experiment with this, use your drumline fundamentals packet to kind of help you see how the basics work, and then hopefully these variations will challenge you with the feet, different patterns in your feet on the downbeat, and also with counting out loud while you play. And that should be a good way to really test you mentally. I'm going to leave you with one challenge. I had a friend recently challenge me to learn 5-lit grid with a flam tap sticking. Now I haven't tried it yet, so I'm going to work on it a little bit and get back to you. But basically, let me show you what a 5-lit grid is, so it's just something you can have in the back of your mind. You got 5 partials, and you just basically do each one 4 times. Downbeat, second, third, fourth, fifth partial, 4 times each, and then 2 times each with a repeat, and then 1 time each with no repeat. So let me just show you the 4s of regular 5-lit grid so you can just start experimenting with this. So it would be like this. is the 4s. So try to see if you can figure out what the 2s are, and try to see if you can figure out what the 1s are on your own. And if you're able to do that, the regular 5-lit grid with the 2s and the 1s as well, shoot me a video, and I will shout out the people that were able to complete it once you guys send me something on the next video. I'll shout you guys out that you were able to successfully do the 5-lit grid. And as far as all the other grids go, shoot me a video, and I'll give you feedback, and I'll help you out on all those other grids as well. Alright, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later.